Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Noah Garrison, and today I'm going to be talking about a very important figure in the history of aviation, and that's Alan Shepard. So, right here I have it titled First American in Space. So, there's a picture of him, and let's move on to the next slide. So, Alan Shepard was born on November 18th, 1923, in New Hampshire. Um, Shepard received a Bachelor of Science degree from the United States Naval Academy. So, for those of you not aware, whenever you graduate from the United States Naval Academy, there's mandatory service that goes with it. So not only is he getting a Bachelor of Science degree, but he's also enlisting in the Navy. Shepard also received many other honorary degrees from various institutions. This picture right here is whenever Alan Shepard was younger, and on the bottom there it says 1946. So he's a student aviator. Uh, but we're going to get into more of the aviation on the next slide. So that's background information. Naval career. So this is where his career of a pilot starts. After graduating from the United States Naval Academy, Shepard deployed on the naval destroyer Cogswell during World War II. So this is during World War II. He's just a sailor on the destroyer Cogswell. After this deployment, he entered flight training in Texas and Florida and received his wings. So, a funny story about this is Shepard actually wasn't a very good pilot, so he had to do some private pilot training on his own, but eventually he started to get better. So he received his wings, and now Shepard's pilot assignment was with the Fighter Squadron 42, and he served several tours on aircraft carriers in the Mediterranean. So I think it was 2 tours. But you can see that's the fighter he was flying. All right, and in 1950, he attended the United States Navy Test Pilot School, which is in Maryland, and did many test flights for the Navy with various aircraft. So this is where he starts to get into flying jets, and he's being a test pilot. He's flying all these different planes and testing things for the Navy. So this is naval career continued. After many test flights, Shepard was assigned to fly Banshee jets with Squadron 193. So that's a Banshee right there. Shepard was an operation officer of this squadron, and he served 2 tours in the Western Pacific. So that's the Banshee right there. After these tours, he returned to being a test pilot flying various fighter jets. And his last few months in Maryland, so this is at the United States Navy Test Pilot School. He was an instructor. So, yeah, his last few months he was an instructor in Maryland. All right, and this is where we go to NASA. In April 1959, Rear Admiral, so that's his rank at the end, so he had a very successful naval career. You can see his rank, I put it above it. So he was a 2-star general. He was selected as one of the Project Mercury astronauts named by NASA. And this is the big thing. On May 5th, 1961, Shepard was launched in the Freedom 7 spacecraft, which he named himself, by a Redstone vehicle into suborbital flight. Right before launching, he uttered the famous words. I think this is pretty funny, so I added this. "Dear Lord, please don't let me F up." So it's very stressful, but obviously he has the experience of being a test pilot, and I guess instead of aviate, navigate, communicate, he is what's the word for aviate? Astronaut, navigate, communicate. So he became the first American in space. So this was all over the news. Everybody watched it. Shepard was at a maximum altitude of 116 statute miles. And continued, Shepard made his second spaceflight, so this is many years later, as commander of Apollo 14 on January 31st, 1971. This is man's third lunar landing mission. So the mission was very successful. NASA states largest. So this is some of the first. It was the largest payload placed in lunar orbit, the longest distance traversed on the lunar surface, the largest payload returned from the lunar surface, longest lunar surface stay time, 33 hours, and longest lunar surface EVA. So Shepard, this is Shepard playing golf on the moon. I thought this would be a funny way to end it. Let me go ahead and play it here. Here we go. So that's him. It's like 10 pixels, but that's Alan Shepard right there. So I just thought it was really funny. So just concluding, Alan Shepard was an amazing pilot, an amazing astronaut. So he was the first American in space. So this is very patriotic. And he was the commander of the Apollo 14 mission. So this was just some facts about Alan Shepard and his life. Thank you very much.